My name's Jeff Schaefer, Distribution Manager for Meriam Process Technologies, and this is the first in a series of videos to introduce a brand new pressure measurement solution by Meriam called the EPI. If you're a system integrator or a design engineer seeking a highly accurate pressure reading in your product and the ability to streamline your product development time, then EPI is the solution for you. With EPI, you get a fully characterized digital pressure signal, 0.025% of full scale, over a temperature range of -4 to 122 F, using industry standard solutions at both the hardware and software levels to simplify the integration of EPI into your design. And finally, and perhaps the most important, you get 25 years of engineering experience in pressure measurement by one of the most respected names in the industry, Meriam Process Technologies. I'm joined today by Rob Kress, Sensor Applications Group Manager, to talk about this really revolutionary new product from Meriam Process Technologies. So, Rob, what is EPI?
Well, the EPI is Meriam's latest state-of-the-art digital pressure measurement technology, and here it is. We call it our embedded pressure instrument. It's made up of a pressure sensor and a manifold and two circuit boards, an analog circuit board which does signal conditioning and a digital circuit board which runs the Meriam pressure engine. That's our firmware and mathematics.
And so we use the term embedded. Give me an example of that. Do you have an application that you can kind of describe that?
Sure. The embedded instrument is really intended for applications that require very accurate pressure measurement at the component or subsystem level. For example, it would be very inefficient to install a fully featured pressure transmitter, say with a user interface and maybe even an analog output, in the wing of an airplane. The EPI, on the other hand, has been stripped away of all the accessory features which are unrelated to pressure measurement. And quite literally, it's an autonomous, self-contained digital pressure instrument.
So this is Meriam's fourth generation of pressure measurement platform, correct? And so what are some of the enhancements that we have on this one as opposed to the first, second, and third generation platforms?
Well, like I said, it's a fully autonomous, self-contained digital pressure measurement instrument. And as you stated, the accuracy is quite good. It's 0.025% of full scale from -20 to +50 degrees C.
And I mean, that's significant. I've been in the pressure sensor business for some time now, and temperature errors are usually the largest of any error in a pressure reading. So, I mean, that's pretty significant. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, here's an example of our accuracy spec. If you work in Texas on a hot summer day, you might have our instrument in your air-conditioned cab, and when you get to the job site, when you go from your cab to the outside hot temperature, our instrument remains accurate.
Okay. Now we're going to be introducing some new ranges on this. I mean, typically we've always had differential, and it's usually had to been clean and dry. On this particular product, we're now introducing a wet capability, and in addition, compound ranges. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit? So
yes, one of our newer sensor offerings will be a compound gauge range, which will be -14.5 psi up to full-scale positive pressure, as well as extended absolute pressure range offerings.
And what about some of the firmware features, the data logging capabilities of this product?
Well, it is a fully enhanced firmware package with the embedded pressure instrument that does include data logging, multi-point field recal, and even logarithmic damping. Also, it's a very small, compact footprint and fairly low power consumption, about 20 milliwatts of power, with flexible power voltage options, about 4 volts up to 9 volts input voltage.
So, you know, Meriam's in business, and we've got a lot of competitors out there that keep pushing the envelopes of precision and accuracy. Is that what gave birth to this new generation, fourth generation of pressure sensor measurement from Meriam?
Well, like you said, Meriam's been in accurate pressure measurement for quite some time, almost 100 years. And we've recognized our need to maintain our competitive edge. So we initiated about a 2-year effort to update and improve our technology. We called that effort our Embedded Instruments Program, and the EPI did grow out of that. And it is our 4th generation, most state-of-the-art digital pressure measurement platform, completely self-contained.
Come back to this this issue of accuracy and thermal error. I mean, a lot of our competitors might tell you an error at a specific temperature or over a very narrow temperature range, but we go over the full temperature range.
Well, indeed, that's correct. Most of our competitors' accuracy specs don't include full temperature compensation, so their accuracy spec might read 0.05% in a very narrow temperature band, and then add additional error components per degree C beyond that limited range.
Okay, so we've now got our 4th generation, which means we obviously had a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation product. So I know we have some examples here. Why don't you go into detail and show us the progression of this technology?
Well, this is our Merical. This was our first digital pressure instrument made about 25 years ago. It's a fully integrated solution. The pressure sensor is directly mounted to the main circuit board. This is our smart platform in which we modularized the pressure sensor measurement a little bit, and the pressure sensor is a module that is portable between a few different finished goods. And finally, our MFT platform, in which we modularized a little bit more with removable instruments in bays. The EPI is really the ultimate manifestation of modularization, and in fact a completely finished instrument in a very compact form factor.
So I mean, we're actually using this product now in our test and calibration products, right? We've got an M200 lab standard unit that now uses this technology. We're about ready to introduce a new 1500 smart transmitter with this technology. So I mean, we bring a lot of confidence to this design already.
Well, and in fact, the base level architecture of the EPI has been used for more than 2 years in our M200 platform.
So what do you, so obviously we're using it here at Meriam. Do you see applications outside of Meriam where this can be used?
Well, the EPI has been designed with quite a bit of flexibility, and because of that, we do see third-party applications as quite a big potential. It really comes down to very accurate pressure measurements. It's taken Meriam 25 years to gain the intellectual knowledge of accurate pressure measurement, and in fact, it's quite a steep learning curve. Engineers who have applications that specifically need very accurate pressure measurements really have to weigh the benefits of investing time to gain the know-how for accurate pressure measurement, as opposed to spending time within their own core competencies. The EPI offers the opportunity to offload some of that extreme development engineering onto Meriam, and additionally, Meriam maintains all the sustaining and continuation engineering costs as well. And really, the end user third-party applications, the extent of their engineering effort is really limited to mechanical fitment and communications infrastructure.
Okay, now you're talking. The next point that we want to cover is, like, how do you read this signal? Because I mean, this isn't your typical analog output where you're getting a voltage or a current, correct? I mean, this is something very unique.
Well, it is, and as you can see, the EPI has no display. That's very intentional. Displays and LCD technologies have nothing to do with accurate pressure measurement. Still, there is the need to actually get the pressure measurement, and for this there are 3 digital communications options on the EPI: I2C, TTL compatible UART, and SPI. These are all typical communications layers that engineers work with on a day-to-day basis, and everything that you interact with EPI happens over the digital comm layer.
And that digital signal actually eliminates a source of error, doesn't it?
Well, yes, and it's a little bit different than what most engineers might be used to in purchasing, let's say, a pressure transmitter that had a 4 to 20 milliamp output. Because the embedded pressure instrument is so accurate, we felt it necessary to exclude or eliminate as many sources of error as we could. Therefore, there is no analog output, in which case there may be errors associated with the transition of the pressure measurement to an analog output, and a second source of error, transitioning the 4 to 20 milliamp signal, again, back to digital at the receiving end.
Well, that's, boy, Rob, we really do appreciate your time today and the insights that you've given us to this new and exciting product from Meriam, the EPI, Embedded Pressure Instrument. This concludes this first video series. Stay tuned for additional product information.